are comparing yourself with other people on social media, on the streets, in your classrooms, at your work office, you're comparing yourself with other people all the time, and then you wonder why you are not very confident. You wonder why you don't have really good, healthy social skills. You wonder why you're socially a little awkward, or you wonder why that you're not an introvert and yet you're still a little awkward and shy or hesitant to make new friends or talk to random people. What is stopping you from having that confidence that you need as a person to grow in life? It's always the comparisons that you make with yourself, with other people, comparing yourself on social media with other people. Even sometimes you compare yourself with people that are very close to you. Sometimes you would probably be comparing yourself with your own siblings at times. Let me add a little bit of a personal experience here. So I grew up, me and my sister, we have like a 1-year gap. And she was always, the intelligent one. She was always the more intellectual one and more inclined towards academics, and she was really good at studies, way more than me for sure, and way more smarter than me in probably every way you can think about. So I was always compared with her smartness. And then on the other hand, now that I have healed and gone through life and therapies and this and that, now I understand that there's not just my side, there is her side of the story as well that I never really listened to, or she never spoke about it or whatever, but she was compared to me, with regards to many things also. So she in her own journey probably also has those things where she kept comparing herself to me while she grew up, because for some reason I was always looked at as the good looking one, but the dumb one, but she was the smart one, the intelligent one, the intellectual one, all of those things. So we both had our own shortcomings, and we were always compared to one another. She was compared in other ways, and I used to get compared with her in other ways, right? But the comparison was always there. It was put in our minds by our close family members, probably by our parents, by our cousins, by uncles and aunts and everybody else in the family. And so those things, at that moment, probably you just kind of ignore. You're too busy playing the surface level game, so you just try to beat each other. But later in life you realize those things leave a little bit of a mark on your brain, or on your heart, or on your self-esteem, and on your confidence level. These things play a huge part. So if you were brought up in a way where you were always compared with one of your sibling or your cousin or even your best friend, then you probably have a little bit of healing to do in that department, because you will later in life also always have this thing somewhere in the back of your mind, and you will always be trying to prove yourself and do better, but you will still think it's still not enough, because you're still having that comparison at the back of your mind, which may be consciously not on the surface yet, but you have it in your mind whether you like to accept it or not. So that is why I talk so much about healing. But anyhow, today we are talking about confidence. I need you guys to look into yourself a bit more deeper. Why are you comparing yourself with other people? By the way, welcome to my channel, guys. This is Lady Isha, and I am your self-improvement and your self-development coach. And if you are not a part of my Rich Bitch activation program yet, I invite you to join that. It will truly transform your life. It will transform your health, your wealth, more abundance, more health, more beauty, more opportunities. It will bring everything in your life, and it will change your life for good. So I welcome you to become a part of my mailing list and get onto the program. Enroll yourself right now. Become a student of life, because being a student of life will pay you off. Sometimes paying for the degrees that we do at school may not pay off that much, but knowledge always pays off. Self-education always pays off. The courses that you invest in to learn new skills and everything always pays off. Those are the things that are so much more valuable that we normally take for granted. And if you are watching this channel, I don't want you to be a person who actually takes quality things for granted but does everything else which is quite random just because you're socially conditioned to do so. No, this is not what we're all about on this channel. Anyhow, talking about confidence today, you guys know that the rich bitch energy, confidence is the basics. Confidence is given. Confidence is like the step number one, That's already the basics that should already be sorted out already. and now we move forward and talk about bigger and better things. So if you already lack in the basics, which is the confidence, you need work. Because let me tell you something, no matter how good looking you think you are, or no matter how smart you think you are, if you don't carry your qualities with confidence, if you don't carry your own existence with confidence, or if you don't carry your behind and your existence with a lot of confidence, then the qualities that you already possess, the skills you already possess, nobody appreciates them and nobody values them and nobody even looks at them. They're ignorable. They're deniable. Why? Because you're not carrying them with weight. You're not carrying them like they're special. You are undermining yourself. You're underestimating yourself when you walk through life with less confidence. Because less confidence means you have a lower self-perception. You think low about yourself. Low confidence also means you probably also have a low self-esteem. These things all go hand in hand. If you have less confidence, chances are you don't really have a positive image about your own self. If you have less confidence, chances are you probably have low self-esteem. If you have less confidence, chances are also that you probably don't like your physical self, or you don't like something about your habits, or something about your nature, or there's something about you that bothers you in your mind, which does not let you become that full, functional, confident individual that you really can be right now if you decide to be that. So your first step would be to stop comparing yourself to anyone and everyone online, offline, family, friends. No, everybody has their own space and place in life, and you need to be able to hold space for everyone to be there, and everybody else around you also needs to hold the space so that you can stay there and you can exist and flourish and thrive from there also. If you think you're holding space for everybody else but they are not holding that space for you, and you still continue to hold the space for them, then again, you have low confidence, right? People do not value others who don't have much confidence. Whether you go into friendships, people love the cool people. People love the it girls, okay? People love, the cool dudes, people love other people that have a little bit of an edge. They're nice and soft, but they're also a little probably crazy. They also have this, dark side to them. Edgy people is what people like. And how do you become that? Well, confidence is the basics, as I said. If you're somebody who naturally does not have confidence, then there is nothing that you cannot do. Confidence can be a learned skill also. If you think that you come from a very mellow background, or very laid back and probably not so confident and very reserved and very hostile and very sheltered, whatever the background may be, if you are not confident by default, you can learn confidence. Confidence is one of those things where, as they say, fake it until you make it. Now, this may sound a little negative. I wouldn't really believe in this quote little too much, but when it comes to confidence, then yes, I would say this is the only place where this actually applies very perfectly. You have to act confident right about now. You have to fake it. Go stand in front of the mirror and act that you can talk to strange people. Act and fake it that, you have your brows raised and your eyes popping, and you look right and you look confident, and you're able to ask other people how they're doing and how is their day going, and you're able to communicate your needs if that's what you need, whether it's with your own people, whether it's with strange people. You practice speaking to yourself in the mirror, so you fake that confidence, okay? You fake that persona that, okay, I can open up and I can talk to myself and I can talk to other people also. So the more you start to speak in front of the mirror, you always refine your speech more anyway. So don't ever think that if you are standing in front of a mirror and talking to yourself, then that means you're probably like a crazy psychopath. Like, what will people say? I'm talking to myself. Oh, oops. That's the last thing you should actually be worried about. Because again, if you're worried too much about other people, what does that say about your own confidence level? That means you don't have that much confidence to begin with. That is why you're more worried about validation from other people, and whether you're going to get acceptance from other people or not, and whether they will think you're crazy or not, or whether they think you're an amazing genius or not. Honestly, it is so irrelevant. It's so irrelevant to your growth. It's irrelevant to your career path. It's irrelevant to your education. It's irrelevant in your relationships. It's irrelevant in your friendships. Generally in life, it's always going to be irrelevant what others think. Tell me one thing. You guys have seen me make videos since like forever. I have gone through ups and downs, and my image has been vanished or tried to be amended in some different ways. That's not me. So much stuff goes on. Do you think I would have survived if I didn't have the confidence? Do you think I would have survived if I was bothered about what people think? No. You survive when you know what you think. You survive when you know what you are doing. You survive when you know God knows you. That's all that matters. Nothing else in between, up and down, left and right. Nothing really matters at the end of the day. It's always going to be you shining through, coming out through things that are turbulent and not very pleasant, but you're going to come out clean and you're going to be just fine, because that's who you are. You need to know yourself first. Other people don't matter. Other people are, by the way, not coming to pay your bills anyway in the first place, so we are not thinking about those people anyway. Because I'm going to give you the reference of the rich bitch energy quite often. Do you really think a rich bitch energy will ever be worried about what are people going to say? No. She deals with the problems, or they deal with their problems face to face, first hand, and they do what has to be done. You do what you gotta do. As I said before in many videos of mine, if you have any doubts, you just write this one thing down on a piece of paper right now and stick those notes everywhere in your room, in your house, in your kitchen, in your apartment, even in your toilet. What do you write? You gotta do what you gotta do. This, honestly, if you do this one thing that I'm telling you right now, it's gonna move your life. It's gonna just push you further. It's gonna move you forward so much. Because every day you'll be seeing this, oh, you gotta do what you gotta do. Got it. And every time you see that, and it's gonna sit in your head, it's gonna be imprinted on your brain, and you will actually start doing the things that you really have to do eventually, not today, not tomorrow, but in a few days. It will be imprinted on your system so well that you will actually unconsciously somehow start thinking differently, because now you're like, you know what, I have to be practical and I have to do what I have to do. And it was because you were reading this quote again and again. You gotta do what you gotta do, Meladyesha. Yeah, write that down, okay, and then you can thank me later. I mean, not that I came up with the quote, obviously I didn't. It's just a saying. You probably already have heard about it, but just write it down. You gotta do what you gotta do, period, point blank, nothing else in between, okay? If you keep being confused, about other people, oh, should I follow their path? Should I do exactly how my friend is doing? Oh, should I be exactly like how my sister or my brother is like? Or should I be exactly like how my cousin is because everybody admires her so much? These are all comparisons. You need to get these things out of your mind right now, because they're not healthy for you. They're not going to let you grow. They're not going to let you be the person that you were truly meant to be. God made all of us very, very differently. We all function differently, which is kind of very magical and unbelievable, because there's like millions and billions of people on planet Earth, around somewhere between 7 to 8 billion people in this world right now who are alive, okay? And guess the number that have passed away and that are also yet to come. It's endless amount of human beings. And if you think about it, how still each one of them has had different facial features. They were different in size, different in color, different culture, different religion, different. Each one of us is so different. They function different, they think different, they feel things different. Oh my God, everything is so different. How crazy is that? We all are similar human bodies, but we're all so different to one another. And you think that you have to be same like somebody else? How does that even make sense? Even by default, even by science, we're not the same 100%. your cells, your DNA, your memory, your brain. Things are so different. Yes, physically it may look the same. A brain is a brain is a brain. But each one of those brains functions differently. Some of them, have lots of phobias in them. Some of them have dirt in them. Some of the brains have a lot of positivity knowledge in them. Some of the brains are autistic. Some of the brains... Do you understand? Like, there's like all these different kinds of things that people are functioning like, and nobody is really the same. People process information differently. Somebody is smarter, somebody has better memory, the other one doesn't. And the list goes on. And you're here trying to be like somebody else who scientifically is not even meant to be just like you anyway in the first place. So who are you to sit down and decide, oh, I have to be like that person? No. If God meant to make you like that person, He would have made you that person. If He didn't, then that's not for you to be. That person is not for you to be like. No. What you should be like is what you were really meant to be. And you will know what you were meant to be if you listen to yourself and for once stop comparing yourself to other people and have that confidence in your own existence. Like, get back into your body, do some meditation, get into that mod, get into the rich energy, because only then you'll be able to hear your inner voice that will scream so loud at you, telling you exactly what you need to do, telling you exactly what you should be doing, telling you exactly what you should be saying, what you should be following, where you should be going. Your inner being knows everything. So don't silence your inner voice ever, because that is something that will give you more confidence eventually also. When you listen to yourself, that's where confidence comes from. A lot of girls, even on my previous videos, when I used to do like a lot of live videos on my group, I used to get this question asked all the time: how do you build confidence when you don't have confidence in the first place? And as I said, the first step is stop comparing. That is where half of the problem is solved already. Stop comparing. You probably don't even know that you're comparing, but you are. Go back into your childhood. Who was the one you were being compared to with the most? Yeah, that's still imprinted on your brain. It's still in your system somewhere. You are still comparing yourself. That is why you try to prove things. That is why you just do certain things the way you do, because you're trying to prove someone somewhere in your head. Who is that person you're trying to improve and impress and prove anything that you don't even need to prove? Who is that person you're trying to make choices for so they are more impressed, so they can think that you're just as good as them? Who is that person you're doing all these life decisions for? Oh, well, because I thought it was going to be you yourself. You were supposed to do decisions for yourself, not for that other person in your mind. So go into your body, get into your brain. Who is that person? Who are those people that have put these things in your mind, and like, who are you comparing yourself with? And then you will know what's going on. Clarity is so important. I really hope that you have seen my previous video. I highly recommend watching the other video that I've just done last week, which was all about clarity. How important clarity is. The sooner you start with clarity, the further you're going to go in life. And you will also not waste as much time as you normally would if you don't have clarity. Whether it's your education, whether it's your family, whether it's your school life, college life, university life, your career, your job, your relationships, your friendships, every single thing needs clarity. If you don't have clarity, you're like a dead fish, living like a surface leveled Uber girl kind of life, far away from a rich bitch energy, and following everybody else's path just because socially everybody seems to be doing the same thing, so you want to do the same thing too. But are you ever really going to sit on the driving seat yourself and actually be a wise person? When do you decide to do that? Because when you make that decision, that is confidence. Confidence is sitting on the driving seat. You know what? This is my life. Let me just do what I think I really need to do, because I know what I have to do. You can't tell me nothing. Unless we ask you for advice, unless you are our mentor, then we listen to you. Otherwise, you don't listen to random people ever. And I don't care if those are the average friends, the Tinas and the Minas and the Tom, Dicks and Harrys. We do not care about that. We also don't care about, most of the time what your neighbors or your cousins may have to say. Many times that's also very irrelevant. We listen to the people that we know are doing 10 times better than us. They have their life in order, they have things sorted, at least in those departments where we are lacking. That's who we want to listen to. That is where we can take advice from. Anyone below that giving you advice, that's a joke. And now the joke is on you. How many times did you sit down with Uncle Harry and listen to all of these random advices that he keeps giving you about family and money? Meanwhile, his own family is a mess, quite dysfunctional. And meanwhile, his own financial status is very, very inconsistent and very just not on point. We are not impressed. So do we really listen to those people? No, that will never give you confidence. Confidence will be when you listen to yourself. That's confidence. If confidence can come to you when you start speaking more in the mirror. As I said, fake it a little bit, fake the confidence a little bit. You'll get there, don't you worry. Another thing that will really give you confidence is when you know that you have some amazing set of skills and you polish that. Let's say you're really good at playing chess. Play chess more often. Have you ever noticed how when you do certain activities, by the end of the day, you just feel like so proud of yourself. You've done something amazing. Why don't you start your every morning with one of those things where you know that thing, you're so good at that it just makes you so happy and proud about yourself. Why don't you do those kinds of things in the morning? Start your day that way. And then the whole day, you at least have that little flare of confidence running through your body the whole day. That is all you need. That is literally all you need. If I am lacking the confidence sometimes, which doesn't really happen as much, to be honest, but even if it does, I literally put myself together. I read a little bit of a book. I would read an article, I would read a book. I like research, I like knowledge. So I would just research something, I would just read about something. I would do something where I'd be like, oh, I did something amazing. I did this research. Something new came up in the medical field. Oh my God, I'm the first one to know about it. Oh my God. So these kinds of things sometimes make me feel like a genius almost, if I may say. Sometimes also writing the book, the one that I'm writing about Uber Girls versus the Rich Bitch Energy, the book that I'm writing, sometimes when I get that inspiration where I can start writing again, oh my God, I look back at my writing and I'm like, wow, was that me? What a genius. And I'm sorry, it may sound like self-obsessed or something, but these are the few things that really give me confidence and this feeling that I'm amazing. Pat yourself on the shoulder because you're doing something really good. You're doing something that may transform so many people's life and they may be able to relate to that and they may be able to make the right changes that they never had the guts to make those changes, but now they have a push. And if I can be that source, wow, that gives me the most confidence, So do the things that give you confidence. It could be like any skill set, it could be any of your hobbies. You start off with them and you will get there one by one. I was watching this one video, I wish I remember the name, who that person really was. He defined confidence in such a beautiful way. He said that confidence is just like every other skill, confidence is like a muscle. You have to build it. Confidence is not okay, overnight I'm all of a sudden a confident person. No, confidence comes in yourself, within yourself, when you know yourself, when you have worked on certain things. It's like when you go to the gym and you work on your abs and then finally you start seeing those abs because you worked on them so much, and now you can be proud about that. Now you visibly have those abs that everybody else can also see if you take your shirt off. So confidence is a muscle that you have to build, you have to work on it, and then slowly, you build those muscles. And then they're just there. Now everybody can see those abs very clearly. Now they're visibly just there, and we all can tell, wow, you worked hard for that. Muscle, confidence, literally the same thing. Confidence is also like that. You keep working on yourself so much where you get to that point where you just have this amazing self-esteem, self-acceptance, and confidence is just a natural thing. That's a basic. That will just come and that will stick there, that will not go anywhere anymore. So having that stable, consistent confidence in yourself, it's a process, it takes a while. And if you're an Uber girl, or you think you're somewhere in the middle range, and I don't say that as an insult, don't get me wrong, I'm here trying to help. But if you are on the level of Uber girl or a little somewhere in the middle, a level above that, you can gain so much confidence if you get into the Rich Bitch Activation program and then do the whole course. Because first of all, there's a lot of content that you need to learn from, take notes, and there's exercises for you to do, there's points for you to remember and note down and stuff like that. So it's something that will give you something to do on a daily basis, and it's an intensive, full-time, lengthy course. In my eyes, these things that can transform you as a person and improve your self-image, improve your self-confidence and acceptance, and improve you as a person and a human being, bringing more blessings in life, bringing more abundance and health and wealth and good relationships in your life, all of those things. If you can do anything that gives you that kind of a real life practical transformation, then that is worth more than any penny that we ever paid towards our degrees. That we don't use those degrees nowadays, do we? Anything we paid towards that was probably wasted. For some of you it didn't, but for many of us it was a waste. It was a waste of time, money, energy, everything. It took everything from us, and it's generally a waste because no real transformation came out of that. That data was not even applicable in real life, practical life. So what do we do with that data? It's gone. We don't need it. Now what we need is available online. Yes, every kind of education, specific niche, anything we want, everything is available online, and that is great because that is real education. When you do self-education, education about yourself, education about the self, that is the real kind of education, because now you're going to get to know yourself and you will build that confidence also. And not only that, you will call in so much more amazing stuff because now you're activating that rich bitch energy, and that is like a super boost. That's not just the confidence anymore. Now that is like attitude, persona, your energy, your vibe, your tribe, your empire, your education, your relations, your friendships, your money, your finances, your beauty, your glow, everything. All of this comes to you when you have that rich bitch energy mode activated. So then we are talking 10 times bigger things than just to have confidence, because that's a given. As I said, that's the basics. Get that out of the way and then move forward. You have bigger things to think about and do. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Also, I really do appreciate each one of you. If there's any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. If you would like to stay in touch with me, my Instagram is meladyesha. And now go and enroll yourself into the Rich Bitch Activation program because you deserve it and because it's worth every single penny, way more than, as I said, any degree that you've ever paid anything towards. Until and unless it was a law degree, a medical degree, or that's about it. Wow. See you on the other side.